All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Monday, August the 10th. There's been a lot of stuff going on since, last time I posted a video. Had a couple of technical difficulties, had to get the computers situated, and had to order some more RAM, stuff like that. But had a lot of people actually, I didn't even get that many views, but I had a lot of people like angrily hit me up on social media saying all kind of crazy stuff. And it's funny because I kind of knew this was going to happen, and that's why it's so important that we have free speech in our country right now during these times. Because why would I get so attacked? People don't even know who I am. People don't even know who I am. All I said was like stuff that makes sense, right? The deductive reasoning. The stuff I said, it just makes sense. Americans are Americans. We enjoy freedom. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm literally a liberal in the middle. The foundations of this country. What this country was built on. And I mean, have any of you read Thomas Paine? At all? Like, what happened to the basic ideas of freedom? You have the right to say and do what you want as long as you don't interfere with someone else. But that's not what we see. That's not what we see anymore. No, what we see now is, oh, you gotta ban him because he said something that offends me. He said something that doesn't... Whatever happened to sticks and stones, man? Like, who cares? Why is everyone so obsessed with wanting to ban words, right? Like, why are people wanting to ban things that people are doing? Just ignore them, man. You don't have to listen to what they say. Oh, well, they're perpetuating the culture of... It's like, no. They're not. And even if they're bad people exist. You can't ban bad people. I mean, I guess you could if you want to, live in a socialist utopia or a communist utopia, which usually ends up looking like China. They always like, look, China's doing so great and they're communist. They have concentration camps, man. They literally have concentration camps right now. So what do you... I mean, you can ban people that way. You can just ban them outright. Hey, we'll just stick them over here in this camp and just forget about them. Let's do that. Let's go that way. It's so ridiculous, man. It's so important for people to have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of thought. That's the ideals that this country was founded on. And yes, that does also imply that I am pro-Second Amendment. Why am I pro-Second Amendment? Because it's in the Bill of Rights. It's in the Constitution. I, myself, love the Constitution, period. That's what I stand for. Now, if you want to amend it, you amend it. And there's ways to do that. There's steps and processes to do that. But what are we talking about now? What's on the news, mostly on the news? Right. Okay, so it happens is like, it's just almost every news outlet is defending the riots. But they don't call them that. They call them the peaceful protests and the demonstrations. But on almost all of these cities and all of these riots and all these protests that we see going on right now, they're burning buildings down. They're throwing stuff and projectiles and bombs at the police. But they're peaceful protesters? Why are people supporting this? I see it all over the place. The country was founded on that. What about the Boston Tea Party? Actually, after they did the Boston Tea Party, they went back the next day and cleaned up. Where's that happening? What about the protests yesterday, Sunday, just yesterday in Chicago? They pulled up with a U-Haul truck. They pulled up with a U-Haul and looted stores. Protected speech, right? Right? Protected speech. Right? This is a peaceful demonstration, protected speech. It's not like somebody had to work their tail off to raise money, raise capital, and fill this store. No, it's just take it for the taking, claim it on the insurance. Yeah, well, what happens if every business in America has to claim it on their insurance? Then guess what? There's no insurance money left. That's not how it works. They don't just have this infinite money. Just like the government doesn't have infinite money. They can't just print and print and print. Everybody's like, well, everyone should get $600 a week. Everyone should have free health care. Everyone should have free. Do you even have you spent 5 seconds to figure out where the government is getting that money from. Because let me tell you something. There's only 2 legit ways the government can get money. One, they tax it from the citizens because the government is not allowed to have a business. They can't just open a business and start selling things for profit. Then that's no longer a government. That's now a private enterprise. That's why there's the very clear distinction between enterprise and government. You can't just print money. Oh, well, actually, I guess you can print money because that's the second legitimate form of the way the government raises money. So the first one is they tax, which is what they mainly had to do during World War II, which, they did raise taxes. They did, that's whenever the payroll tax came in, and they called it the victory tax. But they also sold bonds. It was like, hey, this is our future debt that we need money now, so we're going to sell you future debt in the form of a bond. And then we will pay you interest back later after the war is over. We can decrease our spending and lower taxes and then pay your money back. The other way is they just print money. They just print money and then they inflate it out of your bank account. So right now, what does that mean? Interest rates are at 0%. So what does that mean? You get what? 0.5, 0.8, 1% interest back a year from money you put into a savings account. And why is it so low? Because there's 0% interest on the money. Now, back whenever Volcker raised the interest rates up, I guess, so for some of you that don't know, when Reagan came into office, we were in a super bad crisis. Inflation was going rampant. It was horrible. And this was almost directly after they took the U.S. off the gold standard. So Volcker came into the Federal Reserve, nominated by Reagan, and then he jacked interest rates up to like 20% plus. And it kind of stabilized things for a time because when you jack interest rates up, it deflates the currency. We can't do that now. Us not being on the gold standard, screw us. We literally can't do that. If we were to do that now, the entire U.S. government would be insolvent. $26 trillion. If they raise the interest rate up to 8%, they can't pay it. They don't have money. There is no money. Everyone's like, oh, well, we should have free money, we should have free healthcare, we should have free living, we should have free... Where do you think this stuff comes from, man? Somebody has to work. There has to be sweat equity. So you either have gold and silver and food or land or something to trade to get equity, or you have to provide manual labor to get equity. That's it. That's it. Why do you think the dollar has value? It's based off on how many notes are currently in circulation, and it's backed by the sweat equity of the American people. That's it. But I understand, I get it, because we live in really easy times now. We live in really good times. And people that were born, I don't know, let's say 2000 and later, this is the only world they've ever known. I'm not blaming them for this, by the way. People are like, oh, you're blaming them. No, I'm not blaming them for this. This is all they've ever known. But they hear all this stuff, and it all sounds really good on paper. Communism sounds good on paper, right? So does socialism. It sounds really good on paper. But it doesn't work. The only country that you can point to that is actually working in right now is China. But China is not communist, and it's not socialist. It's an authoritarian government with capitalistic ideas as a foundation. Kind of get myself worked up here. It doesn't work, folks. It doesn't work. It won't work. It'll never work. But there's all these arguments out there. Oh, but they didn't do it the right way. They didn't do it the right way. Yeah, what you're really saying is if you was the dictator, you would do it the right way. That's what you're saying. If you were the king and you had the ability to put all those Uyghur Muslims in concentration camps in China, then it would work the right way. Then it would be correct. As long as you have the ability and the power to shut everybody up, make sure they can't speak. Now there were some comments that I'd gotten, and I really try to not pay attention to any of that stuff. But you're not as woke as you think you are, or something. I'm not trying to be woke. I'm just an American who happens to be knowledgeable. I'm not woke. I don't want to be woke. I don't drink Starbucks. Sorry, that was a punch at leftists. I can't really punch at people on the right or Republicans that often because they actually believe in like freedom, the ideal of freedom. They believe in conservatism, which I don't always agree with. I do think there are social programs that, obviously, I don't want the fire department to go away, right? And the government, by definition, is socialism. Like, I don't want that to go away. I'm not retarded. I don't want anarchy. But it just seems like the left's going crazy, man, and no one wants to talk about it because they will cancel you. They will ruin your life. They'll take everything from you. And I started a YouTube vlog last week, and I've already got people attacking me. I don't even know how they found my social media accounts. I actually made my Twitter and Facebook profile after I did the first video. But, whatever, I digress. Guys, if you've made it this far, which I doubt most of you have, whatever. I'm sure this is going to get suppressed. Just make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the whole deal. Yeah, love you guys.